Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you a review of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Now, I guess technically this would be The Conjuring 3, but more companies and more franchises are going away from the numbering system. I know Marvel said, like the MCU said, they basically were like, they're done with the numbering system. They're not going to be calling anything like 2 or whatnot. The last Marvel movie was an actual just like called such and such 2 is the Iron Man franchise, which is Iron Man 2, 1, 2, and 3. But Marvel's not doing that anymore. Most franchises have kind of stopped doing that. They're coming up with like a nice little other title, like other than just, The Conjuring 3. So this one's called The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I think that title is kind of not that great. Because it's so ambiguous and it just sounds like something, like it could be just interpreted in many different ways. And sure, technically when you actually look into the history, because the Conjuring franchise is based off the Warren family, this couple, Ed and Lorraine Warren, back in the day, a while ago, like I think it was like the 70s, I want to say, were like investigators, and like they investigated supernatural events and they did exorcisms and stuff. Now it's about, now depending on who you talk about, there's very little validity to what they were doing, but their lives were very interesting. The things they did were very interesting. That's where you got the Annabelle toy. That's where you got a lot of things. So their lives were so interesting that they built an entire, that James Wan, Aquaman James Wan, directed that first Conjuring movie, which I think that first Conjuring movie was like the best ghost movie of the modern era. I think that movie reinvigorated life into the ghost genre, into the genre, supernatural, like spooky house ghost genre, because it was so smart and clever about how it went about it. It still was a ghost thing, but it was so smart, so clever. It played with lighting, it played with sound design, it just played with a lot of stuff. That first Conjuring is a horror masterpiece. And if I recall, I could be wrong, someone in the comment section correct me, I believe the original Conjuring was also PG-13. So, I believe. I could be wrong, but if I recall, the first Conjuring was PG-13. I think this one's R, I believe. Because that's funny, because I saw another horror movie not that long ago that was PG-13. Just showing that you could kind of do more horror aspect things and not have it needed to be rated R. But this one takes place, after it doesn't quite specify how long after the events of The Conjuring 2 with, I believe it was Beelzebub. I can't remember what the demon was, but, it's put off into the Conjuring franchise is a legitimate cinematic universe. It's the only legitimate, you got the MCU, you got Kong, the Monsterverse, the Kaiju verse, I'll call it, because the Monsterverse sounds like the other thing, the Monsterverse, and you got the Conjuring, you got John Wick, but John Wick's a franchise. Those are the 3 big universes, honestly, like the only successful universes, because regardless of how I feel about the, oh, I thought I heard something. Regardless of how I feel about the original Annabelle movie, Annabelle creation wasn't that bad. I didn't see Annabelle Come Home. I don't know if it was good or not. Someone's probably going to tell me in the comment section if it sucked or not. But, geez, somebody going blasted music. Sorry, I just heard something. But this is really the only, the Conjuring franchise is the only open cinematic universe horror franchise. Clearly started by James Wan. Now, this movie is not directed by James Wan. He's a producer on this, but he's not a director on this. And it does kind of show. This is, without a doubt, the weakest of the 3 Conjuring movies. Now, it's better than Annabelle. It's better than Annabelle Creation. It's better than La Llorona. It's better than The Nun. But compared to the first 2 Conjuring movies, it's not on that par. Like, I'd probably give Conjuring 1 a 9. I'd give Conjuring 2 an 8.5. And I'd give this like a 7. Like, I would probably give this movie like a 7, because it's still, you got Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're still great, the characters, their interactions, still great, you still love what they're doing. They did take a different approach, because the other films were about demons who happen to be who are attacking people and them freeing them. And this one's about a witch summoning demons to attack people, like a witch trying to do something. So this one's about a normal human person obsessed with the occult attacking people, which kind of gives it a different vibe. But overall, it's still just, it's nothing you haven't seen a million times before. The only difference is that you know these characters, you've spent time with these characters, which is the only thing that elevates it past, past its limitations in terms of its plot, because it's not that complicated. Ed and Lorraine are on a routine exorcism. It goes wrong. One of the people there who was helping them was, desperate to save this boy, told the demon to go into him, and the demon obliged and went into him. And, this is loosely based off of real events of someone saying that they were possessed by a demon and did something, and the devil made them do it. That's what happened. Only problem I had, real problem, other than it not being that creative and that outside the box, the only real problem I had was it didn't make a lot of sense to me that the kid, he remembered that he accepted the demon into himself, but he just thought everything was fine. Like, he was just like, everything's fine. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that confused me. Plus, I would think that Ed and Lorraine, the amount of demons and whatnot, and the amount of possession attempts on both of them, that they would be able to navigate those waters a lot better than they were. At a certain point in this movie, a demon screwing with Ed, and it's just like, I thought you'd be able to navigate this a lot better, considering you deal with this all the time, and this has happened to you many times. But no, he's susceptible to it too. Like I said, it's the typical horror stuff. Like, I love, but they keep it traditional. I like the fact that they keep it like, this isn't some witch who's just like, ooga booga. Like, she actually has to make a spell and cauldron and get ingredients, and she's like vulnerable because like the big magic she can do is really around the, where she can cast it. And she can't just show up and do magic. She has to like place little totems or whatnot. And supernatural witches used to have I think they used to call them what did he call them? Hex bags that they would place in locations to be able to cast a spell to that specific location. Same thing here. She has like little totems that she has to put in locations. So I like that they kept that traditional with the way witchcraft works. I've always liked the idea, the concept that when a spirit or a demon possesses you, it has to it doesn't just take you over. It has to break you down mentally to get you to take it over, which hypothetically means that if you're mentally strong enough, you can ward off a demon out of your body, which granted, that's why they say that they go after children, because they're weaker and they won't be able to, control it. But still, I thought Ed should be able to handle it, but he wasn't. Overall, I had a good time. I had a great time. I'm glad I watched this on HBO Max because I got it, and I'm glad I did because I'm glad I went to go see In the Heights in the theaters and saw this at home, because I think In the Heights was a great theatrical experience. This is the third best Conjuring movie. It's like I said, it's better than the Annabelle movies, and it's better than La Llorona and the Nun, but that's not a high bar to jump, That's not really a high bar to jump. It's definitely sad. James Wan not being a director on this really showed. I don't know. I hope it has success, because I think it had a little success. I want to see another movie because I like this franchise. I like that they have a universe. And like I said, the Warren family is just like a brilliant idea to write around. A brilliant idea to create a universe around them, considering all the objects they had, all the stories. You have endless stories that you could tell with them just from a byproduct of the endless amount of cases and endless amount of books that they've written on them. Charlatans or not, they're interesting charlatans, as some people would say. But you know what? I still find it interesting, and I still find this franchise interesting. Like I said, it's one of the only good running cinematic universes, fully operational cinematic universes. Honestly, it's pretty much it's after the MCU, the Conjuring universe is really the only like I said, the Monsterverse and the Conjuring universe. And you can claim that maybe the Fast and Furious, but that's not even really a cinematic universe. That's just they had a spin-off. So honestly, now I'm thinking about it, Conjuring probably wouldn't be considered a cinematic universe, because all the stuff that happens are just spin-offs. So yeah, are there any cinematic universes other than Kong? It's just Marvel and Kong, huh? But anyways, Conjuring's definitely one of the most successful franchises. Anyways, thank you guys for the Comic Game Movie Show. Please subscribe, subscribe. And I would give Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, a 7. Solid 7, maybe 6.5, but I'd give it a solid 7. I wasn't bored, I wasn't unengaged, but I'm kind of into this shit, so maybe that's just how it helped me, because I'm into supernatural shit. But It wasn't as good as the sequel. Like, it didn't have any outstanding characters. It had some moments in it that were a little creepy, but that's about it. That's about as bad as it gets. Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.